In this unit, we're going to focus on solving equations. In this lesson, we're going to look at equations that require you to do some expansion before you can solve. Okay, hi everybody. So in this lesson, we're going to take a look at what we're going to call type 5 equations. Uh, okay, and that's just following kind of the pattern. We've been building up on these. Type 4 equations, if you hadn't seen that video here, type 4 equations are about equations that you have to simplify by combining like terms prior to actually getting into the solving process here. So we're going to continue along that theme here where our type 5 equations are going to be equations of this form where, again, we still have to do a little bit of simplifying, but in this case, the simplifying is expanding, okay, or distributing some term through a set of parentheses there, as opposed to just adding like terms, okay? So we're going to, yeah, like it says right here, we're going to remove the brackets with the distributive property, and then we're going to combine like terms, whatever we need to do here. Remember, oh, this is important. If there's a negative sign in front of the brackets all along, that's like a -1, and we still have to distribute it, right? So that negative there gets distributed to both of those terms. Or if you want to think of it as a -1 that gets distributed to both terms, in either case, this becomes 4 minus x minus 2 when you distribute that through. And then, like I said, once that's done here, if you can, you want to combine like terms. And then this thing becomes that type, what was it, the type 3 equation that we've been working on, where we're going to solve it by first moving over the term without the variable and then getting rid of the coefficient. Anyway, let's take a look at some examples here so you see how this works. So for this first set of questions here, we're just going to distribute. We're just going to multiply that through here. So what we've got here to start off with is 2 multiplied by x plus 9. So the 2 is going to get distributed through. So 2 times x, and then 2 times 9 will give us 18. So 2x plus 18. For this next one, where I've got the 3x multiplied by 2x plus 4, again, that 3x gets distributed. So 3x multiplied by 2x is 6x squared. And then 3x times 4 is going to be positive 12x. Now, over here, the 6y is not being multiplied by those terms in that binomial, and I hope you see that. Another way I could write this here, particularly if I kind of treat that subtraction as adding a negative, could be written as 6y plus, and I make this -1 multiplied by 4 plus 2y. Okay, and if you know kind of deep in your heart that you're the type of person who would look at that and think of that as the 6y being distributed through, then you might want to rewrite it like this, because the 6y stands on its own, and then the -1 gets distributed, so it becomes -4, -2y, and then 6y minus 2y. I'm going to add combine like terms is going to be 4y, and then I've got that constant minus 4, or constant 4 that I'm subtracting out at the end there. Now, let's take that and apply that to some equations that we can solve. So here we go. To start off with, on the left-hand side here, I've got that set of parentheses. I want to deal with that first. So, whoops, I keep doing that. So the first thing I want to do here is distribute the 2. So 2x plus, and when I distribute the 2, I'll get 2x minus 16 is equal to -4. I'm going to combine like terms to get 4x minus 16 is equal to -4. Okay, and so now this is in the form of that type 3 equation we were looking at here. So I'm going to add 16 to both sides to remove that constant. Okay, and this becomes 4x, and that's going to become 12. And then I will divide both sides by the coefficient, and I'll get x is equal to 3. So I'm hoping that even in my use of colors here, I hope that you see how the process here kind of evolves. So in this next one here, I've got 6 minus 2x minus 7 equals 21. And again, what I want to do is I want to treat that as if it's 6 plus -1 multiplied by 2x minus 7 equals 21. I don't have to write that step, but I do want to think of it as if it's happening like that. So then my first step is going to be the distribution. So -2x, And I got to remember to distribute that. Okay, so that negative changes the signs of both of those terms in the binomial. Now I'm going to add like terms. So I'm going to get negative 21, negative 2x plus 13 equals 21. Now it's in the form of that type of equation that we've worked with before here. We're going to subtract 13 from both sides. So we'll get negative 2x. That's going to equal 8. And then I'm going to divide both sides by that negative 2, and I will get x is equal to, well, 8 divided by negative 2 will give me negative 4. Okay, there we go. Let's slide this up. On this side here. Now, what I might do with something like this, because there's a fractional coefficient being multiplied here, and there's nothing else behind that set of parentheses here, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to multiply both sides by 3, that common denominator, or the only denominator in this case. On the left-hand side, all that's going to do is get rid of my denominator. But that's still, I like that. I'm happy with that here. And then 62 times 3 is going to be 186. Now, I did not have to do that. In fact, if I was to multiply that negative 2/3 through by the 6 and the negative 9 there, you would see that those actually work out to be pretty nice numbers. But still, I know a lot of people are not going to be happy with fractions, so you probably by default, a lot of you would just get rid of those fractions there. And so now I distribute the negative 2 through. Now I'm going to subtract 18 from both sides. And that's going to get me negative 12x is going to equal 168, I believe. Yep. And then I will divide both sides by that coefficient. And I'll get that x is equal to negative 14. Then for this next one here, again, that 2w, the 2w is not being multiplied by that set of parentheses there. It's really just that negative 2. So then I would distribute that negative 2 through. It'll get me negative 6. And I don't know why I converted that into an x so quickly. Didn't hardly even think about it, and it became that x, sorry, the w became an x there. So that should have been a w there. So this will be w, and then negative 2 times negative 7 will be positive 14 equals 20. So negative 4w is equal to, when I subtract 14 from both sides, I'm going to get 6. Now I'm going to divide, whoops. Oh, you know what? And normally I would have done that different. Oh, sorry, let me do it like this. Sorry, let me be consistent with what I've done up to this point here. So, sorry, I have been, oops, got a little mark there that doesn't want to go away. We'll do it like this. And now what I'll do is I'll get rid of the 14. And so I'm going to get negative 4w is equal to positive 6. And I'll divide both sides by negative 4. And what I get is w is equal to, well, I get 6 over negative 4. And 6 does not divide by negative 4, but they do both have a common factor of 2. So it's going to be negative 3/2, which is okay. Not a problem with that. Now, I'm going to slide this up here. And I suspect you would be given some time in class to do this. So I would suggest that you pause the video here, take a look at these questions, give it a shot here, and then start it up again when you're ready. I am just going to plow right through. So with this one right here, with my simplification, I got a little bit of expansion to do first here. And I'm going to see this as if it's negative 9 multiplied by negative x plus 5 plus 3x minus 8 equals 13. And so then this becomes 2x plus 9x minus 45 plus 3x minus 8 equals 13. And now I'm going to group together like terms here. So 2x plus 9x is 11, plus 3x is going to be 14x. Negative 45 minus 8 will be negative 53. And now this is that type 3 equation. So I'm going to add 53 to both sides. So that's going to get me 14x is equal to 66. And then I'm going to divide both, whoops, sorry, I have been changing colors. I want to be consistent with that. I'm going to divide both sides by 14. Okay, but 66 is not divisible by 14, so I'm not going to get a nice number here. I am going to get a fraction. There is a common factor of 2 there, which gets me 33 over 7. That is about as nice as that's going to get. Up here for this one, I'm going to distribute that 4 through, so that's going to give me negative 20 thirds minus 4. Oops, sorry, I forgot the x there. Negative 20 thirds x minus 4 plus 2x equals 27. Now, because of that 3 in there, I might multiply everything through here by 3 just to eliminate that fraction. And that will get me negative 20, okay, x minus 12, oops, not 12x, just minus 12, plus 6x equals 81. Now, notice every term gets multiplied by 3. That first term, because there's a 3 in the denominator, all that's going to cancel is the 3 in the numerator is going to cancel with the 3 in the denominator, and you're just going to be left with that negative 20. So I hope that makes sense. I am sort of skipping a step here. It's because we've done that a few times already. Negative 20x plus 6x is going to be negative 14x minus 12 is equal to 81. And now I will bring that 12 over to the other side to get negative 14x is equal to 93. Ooh, that isn't going to simplify nicely at any time soon here. The negative 14s will cancel, and this is simply going to be negative 93 over 17. Over 14. I have no idea why I wrote 17. Oh, because I was thinking 14 is divisible by 7 and maybe 93 is, but I'm going to double check on my calculator here. I don't think it is, though. No, it's not. And so there you go. Okay, one more. We distribute the negative 3 through to get negative 15x plus 4 is equal to 12. And now this is a pretty straightforward one. I'm going to subtract the 4 from both sides, and that'll get us negative 15x is equal to, what is that? Oh, wait a minute. What did I do here? Oh, my goodness. Okay, you can tell I maybe need a little bit more caffeine this afternoon because, wow, I can't believe I just did that. That's okay. These sorts of things happen. But the important thing is that you can find at some points that you can catch yourself here. Negative 3 times 1 is going to be positive. Sorry, negative 1 is going to be positive 3. And so then I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And that is going to give me a 9 on the right-hand side there. Now I'm going to divide both sides by that negative 15. And so x is going to equal, negative. There's a common 3 there, so this will end up being 3/5. Okay, and there you go. That's as good as that's going to get. And so that's how you wander through the questions like this. You're going to deal with that little bit of expansion first, and then this becomes like a type 4, so you group together like terms, which should then take you to like a type 3 where you're going to bring over the constant term and then divide by the coefficient to solve.